Are we going crazy right now, or were there people out in the woods?
I have no idea, but that was so clear.
That sounded like a group of people.
I didn't see anybody. I looked out the window with my camera right away.
Dude, I think someone's breaking into the building.
What are we supposed to do?
I don't have a weapon. I don't have anything.
There is a group of people. Like, I've never heard a whole group of spirits before.
I know I've talked to people in the past who have been here, and they've been on like the first floor and heard a whole group of people on the top.
Someone's in the building.
Dude, someone is in here. Someone's down here. Okay, Tanner, stay close to me.
Yeah, got you.
I don't know if there's a person here.
Someone is in the building.
Just stay between me and Tanner.
Welcome back. That is a clip from the new season of Destination Fear on the Travel Channel. It stars some of our favorite ghost hunters. And the premise is this: they spend the night in abandoned and haunted locations across the country. Fun, right? Please welcome back to our show our good friends Chelsea and Dakota. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, no, thanks for being part of our Halloween show. How are you guys doing?
Good. You know, it was a long road trip. It's been a lot of scary. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Well,
on the road.
let me ask you, this is the new season. One episode's already aired. We'll get into the specifics of a couple of them in just a second. Have you guys been able, talking about your production schedule, have you guys been able to film even with COVID?
Yeah, I mean, we were so lucky, so blessed to be able to go out there and film, but everything changed. We were locked in the RV the whole time. We didn't have any crew with us. It was just us this time. And yeah, it was tough. There was a lot of new rules that we had in place, but thankfully everyone was safe and healthy and we didn't have any issues.
Well, yeah. Chelsea, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No problem. Like, I was just saying, like, as you know, like, every single show has to get creative and at the same time be safe. Fortunately, we are going to locations that nobody really wants to go to anyways. So that was kind of worked in our benefit, that we were going to places where it was just us in these buildings. So
I was going to say, it's not like you're going to Disney World or Vegas. For instance, your first episode, you visited a decaying hospital. Well, that's appealing.
To Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, it was appealing to me. We went to the Saratoga County homestead in upstate New York, and it was a location that was really similar to what's happening today. It was a place where people went to quarantine for tuberculosis and the flu. And so it was one of the times I feel like more than ever that we could really relate to a location. And it was a night to remember, that's for sure.
How long were you guys actually there? Like, I've asked you this before, but the whole process, arrival to conclusion, how long are you guys at these properties?
I'd say like 14 hours around, a little over 14. Once we get dropped off, it's usually around 6 or 7 at night, and we usually get picked up around 7 or 8 in the morning.
And last time we talked to you, it was for our winter shoot. And I feel like shooting in the winter and shooting in the summer is a lot different, because in the winter you have more nighttime and like you have to film like longer. But even in the summer, like we were arriving early and we were there for so long. And, you know, the people who watch the show only get to see, you know, a really condensed, what is it? Our overnight, it's like 35 minutes,
it's like
usually.
22 minutes.
22 minutes.
22
so
minutes.
they're seeing like the highlight reel of a very, very long night. And I'm glad you asked that, because I feel like, you know, people really don't know how long we're in there for, and it is a very long time. Well,
I just love on my sheet here about this first episode, the season premiere at the hospital. They wrote on here, some bodies as in a body, unclaimed because of the flu pandemic. I mean, I don't get that written on my sheet every day.
No, and that was kind of the theme of a lot of the locations we went to on this road trip. Was you have so many unclaimed bodies, and this location was over 1,000 bodies nobody knows what happened to, and a lot of people believe they're on the property. So it was terrifying. This place was straight out of a nightmare.
Okay, the next episode, you are in Kentucky. Tell me about that.
Yes, I sent us to an abandoned bourbon distillery, which is a location we've never done before. We've never done anything like that. And the main reason I went was because of the violent deaths. There was a lot of really just fast and quick violent deaths that happened at this distillery with the workers. And just wait till you see what it looks like. It looks like it's straight out of a Tim Burton movie, this creepy, massive, abandoned distillery.
Well, I wanted to ask you, and we're going to talk about, there's a theory, and I know, Chelsea, I want to ask you about, or Dakota, I want to ask you about it, as far as what you think makes, and I'm not making a joke here, a good ghost or a violent host or ghost. We'll do that in a minute. But we have about 30 seconds. Do you get a lot of apprehension from the property owners when you approach them to go into these places?
Yeah, I would say yes. We've had a few hospitals and places say no to us just because they don't want people to watch the show and then the next morning go there. And the Saratoga homestead, the first location, there were actually over 60 people trying to get into the building. 60 cars the next day after our episode. So it is a problem, I guess.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I imagine they see and then they want to go and try to be Dakota and Chelsea, but do not. Kids, don't try this at home. Okay, we have much more to talk about. It's our Halloween pajama extravaganza. Chelsea and Dakota are standing, going to continue with us right after this. Back after this.
If there were people, though, we would be seeing them.
What the hell? It's like 3 people talking.
There are people talking, men and women.
There's nothing, guys. There's literally nothing.
On the thermal.
I don't see anything on the thermal.
What is that? There's something. What is this? Is that an animal?
I'm moving around and it's still there. What is that?
It's just a white ball of light. These woods are thick. We would hear someone running or walking. Hello?
We're back with Chelsea and Dakota from Destination Fear on the Travel Channel. Guys, I wanted to ask you, we had your Minnesota Travel Channel partner, Dave Schrader, on a couple days ago, and I did a deep dive on your show and his the last few days. What do you say to those watching right now that just watch that clip or watch your show with a skeptical eye, an eye of, really? Are you doing this in post-production? What do you say to those skeptics?
I mean, I would tell them to pick one of the 24 locations we've been to already, pick any one. And most of these buildings, they let you rent them out. They let you pay to go in there and spend a night. And go spend a night at one of these places and do it yourself and then decide for yourself whether you believe it.
Chelsea,
and sleep alone, too. Go alone.
Chelsea, were you ever a skeptic? Were you ever a skeptic?
I'm always a skeptic. I'm still a skeptic. Being almost a doctor, I'll be a doctor next year. I'm very much always analyzing everything. Thank you. And I'm just, I'm never settling for, it's a ghost or, I'm always like, it could have been this, it could have been that. And at the end of the day, no matter what the heck it was, I'm still going to be scared. These buildings are old. They're, there's always noises that are happening in the building just because the building's old and decrepit. These aren't really strong standing buildings. But just the fact, the what if, and, some of the things we experience are just simply unexplainable. So it kind of goes back to there's just so many things to be scared of, whether it's paranormal, whether it's, animals in the building with you.
Yeah, see, that's where you would lose me. Like a random rabid raccoon or something would be the thing that would scare me. Dakota, I want to ask you, you have an interesting theory of what makes a more intense haunting, like when a location just has a severe haunting. You think you have a theory of why?
Yeah, well, I have a theory that when there's just a dark history, a dark past, that whenever there's suffering in life, I feel like you have more energy in the afterlife if you were wronged or if something bad happened to you. And even the location we went to for the season premiere, the Saratoga homestead, this was a location that's been abandoned for 50 years. People have done nothing but destroy and vandalize it. And I also believe at that location that maybe whatever's there is so active or so angry because every single person who goes in there is destroying the building.
Well, I started with Dakota. Chelsea, I want to give you the last word. We have about 30 seconds. Now that there's been several seasons, look back. What's been your most, since it is Halloween Friday, what experience has been the most terrifying for you personally?
Honestly, I'd have to say in 2 episodes coming up, there is an episode that I actually ended up crying in, and it takes a lot to get me to cry. I always say it doesn't take a lot for me to scream, but it takes a lot to get me to actually shed tears. And this was actually at Randolph County. and infirmary. And basically, Dakota had a great idea to isolate us, be going alone in some of these buildings. And I heard something that was just absolutely terrifying that actually shed tears. So I would say in a couple weeks, you'll find out.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, that was the best tease. The people at Travel Channel couldn't have written a better tease. Guys, continued success. Thank you so much as always.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank
Your
you.
show. I love
Yeah,
it.
happy Halloween.
Thank you. Happy Halloween, guys. Chelsea and Dakota, the brand new season of Destination Fear, as I said, airs Saturday nights on the Travel Channel. Kendall, we should go in a haunted house. Okay, I just got a no on that one. Still ahead, we're chatting with a non-scary guest. Well, she's scary sometimes. Aaron Schwab when we come back. Back after this.